And the flavor is entirely in the preparation.
Now for this particular dip, I'm using spring onions, which are kind of in between a yellow onion and a green onion, where the whites are a little bit more mild than a yellow onion, but the greens are much punchier than a scallion. And the best part is they can be charred under the broiler or on a grill, adding a really fun depth of flavor to your onion dip. Now here is where all of the magic happens. No matter what type of onion you use, it's crucial that you caramelize your onions in a sufficient amount of fat. I prefer butter, but this process right here is where most people go wrong in not caramelizing their onions long enough. Like if you see this and you think this is caramelized, unfortunately it's not. Now a fun trick I pull out every time I caramelize onions is I'll cook them over a medium-low heat, and every time a fond forms on the bottom of the pan, I add about 2 tablespoons of water and then mix everything together. If you do this frequently throughout the whole process, you'll end with deeply caramelized and jammy onions. Now the second most important part of an onion dip is the base that you mix those onions into. For special occasions like a big football game with a halftime show, I like to use a combination of sour cream, mayonnaise, and cream cheese. And if you want no lumps, make sure that your cream cheese is room temperature, but you can certainly make things a little bit lighter by including blended up cottage cheese or Greek yogurt. As long as the onions are properly caramelized, the dip will taste delicious. Now, like I said, the flavors in the preparation. So this spring onion dip gets a little bit of a smokiness from the charred greens, which I'm adding with a sufficient amount of salt and pepper. And then finally, it's time for it to chill. You'll want to make sure that the dip sits in the fridge for the flavors to really develop. Just make sure it sits out a bit before serving so that it's creamy and luscious. And then you can garnish with chives or paprika. But yeah, you can find the full recipe for this spring onion dip on abridged.org.